Hello. How are you guys doing? Let me post the stream on social media and then we can start with a game. All right. Drinking some coffee. Okay, let's start with random game as always. Okay, let's look at our network. So this is the easy one. We asset the inventory, we install the SIM, we get the gateway, firewall, usual stuff. Let's go with the quick endpoint security on the workstations. So yeah, how are you guys doing? I'm doing quite fine. Learning some stuff. We need the ICS security monitoring and safe testing methods, because we will be doing some penetration testing and so on. Let's do the vulnerability mapping and segment the network. Yeah, I like that. Now we can solve one issue, mitigate one vulnerability, and we will receive the 10,000 bonus. Yeah, I can see. Okay, now we get the certification, and let's follow with the endpoint security. here, here, and yeah. Alright, I need to post it on Facebook. I just want to use endpoint security on everything. Yeah, we got the certification and compromise asset is detected. So let's finish with the endpoint security. Let's deploy USB security on it. Let's do threat, or perhaps, yeah, let's threat hunt on the machine which is in the same segment and activate the incident response. And we need some physical security as well. Let's scan the asset, gather forensics, threat hunt. When you are in the incident response, you are not able to perform anything except threat hunting. I guess we can also request the budget. Yeah. So one more turn. Okay, it's clean. Deactivate. Perform some more threat hunting. We have failed with the budget. We will mitigate some vulnerabilities. Right, that's looking good. We need policies and procedures now. Right, we need physical security as well. Something is compromised. I will be greedy and wait for the electronic logs to finish, because if you activate the incident response, I do believe there is a chance that you will fail on your last action and you will not receive the money back, right? Yeah. Scan asset, gather forensics. In the meantime, I will start the virtual books just to be prepared. guess we can. Okay, we don't have option to do anything because we are in the incident response mode. Okay, we can deactivate, do some more threat hunting. That's good. We need more budget. We need strong passwords. We need to encrypt traffic. And that's fine. I like the system backups. Again, I will be greedy. Activate. And the machine is gone. That's bad. Okay, let's deactivate. Do some threat hunting. Two-factor authentication is fine. Do some mitigation. Okay. Let's activate the incident response. Let's try to reboot the asset. Oh, and this will fail. Or we just replace it. Gather forensics and clean the asset and do some threat hunting. So it looks good. Get the security awareness, maybe strong Wi-Fi. Okay. I want this two-factor. We are using our budget quite much. One game and then we will focus on the Sigma rules. Okay, we got something compromised. Let's activate the incident response, deploy USB security on both of them. Okay, we have one because we got the threat intelligence score. I guess the red team almost win. We detected almost everything, so that's good. Okay, let's start the machine that will help us with development of the Sigma rule. And some few useful links. And this rule will be later posted to the official Sigma GitHub repository. Hopefully without any changes, but yeah. So I guess you should be able to see it there in some time. So yeah, first let's talk about the case that we are going to be monitoring for. We will be writing our detection for. So it will be about the screen capture. You can see the tactic of the MITRE attack. I have already written some rules for this, but there is one. Sometimes I get inspired by the tests that are in the Atomic Red team. There is one test, capture Linux desktop using import tool, which I want to cover with Sigma rule. So this is the usage, this is the command, how it looks like. Let's actually test this. I have been testing it, as you can see. Okay, so let's open new terminal, let's make it bigger. Okay, there is nothing. So let's look again about the usage. Let's actually copy this command. Let's paste it. Okay, and then we provide the name of the file, test.png, for example. Okay, something happened, and yes, indeed, we have made the screenshot. That's cool. I know also one more way to do this, which will be only with the import, and we are not going to use these arguments. Let's name it test1.jpg. Okay, and then we can specify the area that we want to screenshot. Okay, something happened. Test one. Yeah. So those are two ways, two commands that I want to monitor for something like this. It is not very high priority finding. I would consider it very low, perhaps higher on the servers in which you won't see such activity of screenshot. So yeah, this is really something really low, but I really want to cover it because there is test for it with the Atomic Red team. Yeah, and it's actually good practice. So first thing we need to do is to catch it with the audit D. Okay, let's become root. This is not a good practice. Okay, so we have no rules. So we will prepare one simple rule that will monitor the access CVE events. We will name it commands for the sake of looking for it, searching it easier, right? Or command, that's better. Okay, so we got the rule that is running. Let's move this to the trash. And now let's actually do it again, but we need to go to the, you can see I was doing some tests. We need to go to the desktop, right? Okay, the screenshot is there. Let's now look for this. It's lots of stuff. So let's actually use the grep import. There is a execve, which is useful for us because we will be basing on it to write our Sigma rule. Let's invoke the import, but without the window argument and the root argument. We'll name it test1 dot something like this. Is it created? Yes. Okay, now let's run our search again. Okay, so we have one. Let's actually grab for the access CVE, and let's delete the grep. So yeah, those are two events that we are basing our rule for, that we'll be basing our rule, and this will make it more resilient, because if we write too specific, just looking for the case like this, we wouldn't detect case like this, for example, right? I guess in this case the most effective way would be to look for the import execution of the import binary. Yeah, because you don't need such arguments to perform the screenshot, and I think there are many more arguments that you can use. So yeah, let's start writing. Let's use the got some problems. Let's use the online tool. Yes, this will help us in the development of the Sigma rule. Let's take one rule that I have already prepared, so it will be much easier to develop. Okay, let's can delete the ID. This is the screen capture with the import tool. Right. You can append the date, author is fine. Screen capture of desktop import tool. Highly recommend using rule on servers due to high usage of screenshot utilities on user workstations. Image magic must be installed. This is the package that includes the import binary, so we need to install it. Let's check the references quickly. So yeah, this is referring our red atomic tests by the red canary. That's fine. This is to the technique by the miter attack. Yes, that's good. This is the collection. Yeah, this looking. I was writing similar rule before, so this will be a quick one, I guess. Okay, we could also add some more references. Let's get some more stuff about the import tool. Can capture a single window, the entire screen. Yeah. So this is good reference. We can include. Also, we can include some more stuff about the image magic. Yeah, but we can learn some more about the formats that can be created by the binary, I guess. So let's include this side as well. The text adversary creating screen capture or desktop with import tool. Highly recommend using program servers due to highest must be installed. That's good. And the product is Linux, the service is Audit. That is good. Okay, so our A0 in both cases, as we remember, is import. And I guess that should be enough if I think about it. However, we can also make it more specific, right? Let's make it a little more specific to match the case. Okay, so this will be the case with the window root. Which, as you should remember, is this one. So the A1 is window, A2 is root, A3 is our file. So I guess we can use the list here and list some extensions, because I do believe this extension, the right extension, is required. The best, in this case, the best thing to do would be to list all the formats, but I'm just going to include those one. There are so many different formats. Because you could do the GIF as well. Yeah. Okay, now let's focus on the import. No window root. In this case, we only need A1, which will end with the same stuff, right? And let's write our condition. Something like this. Let's check if it works, and it works. So let's go through this again. So we look for the type of exe CVE, and the A0 is import. This is, as you can see, always included in our detection. And to be honest, we could leave it at this, but just to make it more fancy and more with the my initial thought, and also more with the test that is in the red team, atomic red team, but by the red canary, we included two cases, right? Two usages of the import. One would be with the window root arguments, right? So we got the window parameter and the root parameter, and we included some arguments. I guess this is not really necessary that our A3 should end with. It needs to end with some kind of file, because let's test it quickly. Windows root and test. We do not include any extension. It should fail. Yeah, it has failed. Well, it created the file, but the file is broken. So it needs some kind of extension, and extension also needs to be good, because if we put some garbage as extension, it should also fail. Right. So I guess we are fine with this, with what we got. So this is the first case, right? And the second case only looks for the extensions in the A1, in the ending of the A1 field. Because if we can see our case again, here it is. In this case, we get only two fields to work with. One is the import A0, which we already taken care of in our import section, and the last one is A1, which needs to be file name with the extension. So let's look at our logic. Elastic query. So the type is XCVE and the A0 is import, and A1 is this, and A2 is this, and A3 is this, or A1 is this. Okay, that should be fine, I guess. So I highly recommend, when you are going about writing some kind of rule, you go to the official repo, you go to the rule folder that you want to develop your rule for. In my case it's Linux, it's AuditD, and you look at the different rules and how they are structured, right? You can copy it, paste it to the uncoder.io or any different code development tool, IDE, whatever it is called, you like, and try developing it. I like this tool because you can translate it and see if it works immediately, right? I guess you could also do it the pro way, which would be develop your tool, develop your rule in the IDE, for example the VS Code. Then you would use the Sigma tools, which is command line PySigma, my apologies, because they changed the name. You use the command line Sigma converter, which would perform the same action, but you can also specify your own configuration in which you would map different fields to different fields in your query. Yeah, I hope it makes sense. We can do something like this later. So yeah, this is the rule. I would leave it at low. Perhaps some tweaking would be necessary to include it in the official repo, but it is fine, I guess. And yeah, you need let's talk about contributing it to the official repo. You need to use the capital cases. It needs to be written in the title like way. In some description. You also need some references as much as possible. And I think, yeah, you need some tags as well. And you need the level. False positives, if there are any. If you are not able to find anything, you type none or unknown, something like that. You leave it as this. For the IDs required for the rule to be implemented, to be included in the official repo. I guess if you develop the Sigma for your own SOCs, for your organization, you wouldn't need to include the ID. I guess this is fine to do as well. I use the website which is UUID generator, and we generate the version 4. You generate something that you like and copy it and paste it here. I will do it just before I contribute this to the official repo. So let's actually create our file. I need to update my project. Let's open the VS Code. I hope you can see it. If no, my apologies, but I'm not able to make it bigger this time. So let's create new file, which will be Linux LDD screen capture import dot YAML. You can take it and paste it. Yeah, so yeah, we specified one more time. Let's go through it again. Get the title, description. Those are self-explanatory, actually, nothing to say here. The status is experimental. You set it after you develop the rule for the first time. I guess you can then set it to the stable status. We put the date. Of course, don't forget about the author to credit yourself. References as much as possible, hopefully to the MITRE attack technique or tactic if there is. If this is some exotic command, you also put the reference here. I have put the link to the package which requires to be installed, right? We will also put this information here. We specify the log source, the product, and you take those information from the other rules, from the official repo. This is my best advice for this. And then you specify the detection field. And the condition. This is like high overview, not going into too much into the details. Perhaps one time we'll go through everything. I just share my thought process and how I develop it. I mean the live development of such rules in my case, right? I'm not a huge expert, but I contributed some and some to the Sigma, and those rules are in the official repo, so that's plus. That's cool for me, I guess. So the next step will be actually contributing this. But let's actually, since I have some time left, I mean, let's actually play with this rule that we have managed to create. What can we do actually is the following. We could see if if the Azure Sentinel will work with this, right? But in order to do that, we would need some more stuff to prepare. I would need to connect this Ubuntu machine to my not Splunk, but the Sentinel instance. Right, let me look. I will do it off screen because there might be some stuff that I don't want you to see. I will try to do it as fast as possible. You can ask me some questions in the meantime if you're wondering some stuff about the cybersecurity, detection engineering, and so on and so forth. quickly connect this Ubuntu machine. Okay, now I will take this screen and connect and download some stuff for the Sentinel. I cannot show you this because in the configuration page there are some keys that are unique for my environment, and yeah, but the process of connecting this is quite easy, I do think, so shouldn't have any problems with it. You can also watch some tutorials, there's plenty in the YouTube. So I'm waiting for it to finish installing. It's almost finished. A little bit more time. It is being installed. Okay. So it looks that is installed indeed. Now we need to wait some more to see if we receive some events. Right. We also need to do some changes in the configuration of the audit D. We go to this location, this file, and we need to change active from no to yes. And we need to create this rule again. I guess I could just put it in the rule file. That's fine. Well, I need to create it with the key command. Okay. Just checking if it works. Yeah, that's fine. So we got our, I guess it is looking fine. Okay, we have received some heartbeats. So it started pushing some logs. Okay, that's cool. We will wait for the syslog logs. I haven't planned this, so my apologies for not much action, but configuration is not hard, but it requires some time, right? Still waiting for the events to go. Syslog is running as well. Let me check how my previous machine is configured to push syslog. because there might be something that we need to specify in the syslog configuration. Not really. Okay, we got some syslog, I think. Yeah, this looks very good. So let's just close our previous machine and let's we'll take this logic that was generated. And immediately I can see that we will need to do some changes because there are no fields like this, right? Let me correct this and I will show you how it would look like. Some basic not really sure how so there is require a lot of changes actually to this. Forgotten the dot here and here. Because there are no such fields as A1, A0 and so on. It is all in the syslog field, right? But it is a good start, right? Something like this would be good. Let me run it and make sure that it doesn't show anything I don't want you to see, but we need to do something. Okay, we have created the file. Now we wait a little bit. Waiting for the logs to appear in Sentinel. Okay. Okay. It's actually the configuration of the syslog, not the syslog but the converter to Sigma would be really good there. So it has something like this. Okay, got some results. Let me check. So in this case we would actually need to do some more changes, right, because there are no such columns. Again, we could extract them, but I don't think that's the best idea in this case. So would look, we need to make some changes, but that is a good start, I guess. It would work better, I guess, in the different backends. So let's go back to the Sentinel query. So we got this part, and it has actually detected this, right, which is fine. You can also put the generate something like this, right, to to make it more specific in terms of time. Yeah, and then we could also, like I showed you before, but I don't want to do this time, we can extract the UID. It's not the UID, it's the unique ID with the timestamp, which is connected to every event that is related to this action. Right? We could look for something like this, and it will provide us with all the events. Right? The syscall provides us with the information who performed the action. The XCCV is good for detection because it provides us with the arguments and stuff like that. It's not always good because it won't detect something like this. It won't show this part. It will only show this. So you can also use the proc title event, which has the hex encoded information about the executed command. Which we can decode using, for example, the cyberchef, right? Or we can make our audit logs enriched, configure them as enriched format, and it will provide us with the decoded command line, I do believe, which is another way to detect this action. But yeah, this would be a great start. This actually is the, if we take a look at our detection, this is this part. In our Sigma rule, this is our what we currently have. Next, we would need to write this logic, which would be this, but we would need to make some changes right to the fields. And perhaps this is not the best way to write this, because if you can see, we use the contains a lot, which is quite often with the audit D, with the syslog messages and stuff like that, but it's really performance costly. It costs a lot running this. So yeah. So I guess we can develop it further next time. Yeah, we'll leave it as at this. So to recap, we have managed to create the rule, which can then translate to different backends. Of course, this is not perfect. As you can see, we still need to make some changes to this logic to make it work in our environment. I guess you could write your own configuration to the Sigma converter to make it work with our environment better. So yeah, I'm going off for now. Thanks guys for watching. I will see you next time. Don't forget to like, subscribe and all that stuff. See you later.